Hello everyone, and welcome to Poniak Labs. If you've already built an AI agent and you're wondering how to publish and monetize it, this video is for you. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through how to list your agent on the Poniak Labs marketplace, from preparing your endpoint, to filling out the listing form, to setting up pricing so buyers can actually pay for and use your agent. Now we will show you how to list your AI agent on the Poniak Labs platform, step by step. Before we start filling the form, let us quickly understand what we need. The main prerequisite is simple. Your AI agent should already be hosted somewhere on the internet, and it should have a public endpoint that our platform can call. You can host your agent on Render, Railway, DigitalOcean, Fly.io, or any other hosting provider that gives you a working public URL. On the left side, we have kept a small checklist ready so that we can follow the process clearly. First, I will grab the endpoint URL. Then we will go to poniaktimes.com, sign in, open the List Agent page, and fill in all the details required for listing the agent. Now let us get the hosted service URL. For this tutorial, I am using Render. This is the Render dashboard for my deployed agent. Here you can see the service URL for the hosted application. Copy this URL and keep it ready, because this will become the base URL for your agent. After copying the hosted URL, we also need the actual API endpoint path from our agent code. Here, I am opening the code for the agent. In the code, you can see the API route that the agent exposes. For this example, the endpoint path is something like /analyze-restaurant. So the final target API URL will be the render service URL, followed by this API endpoint path. Now that the endpoint requirement is clear, let us go back to Poniak Labs. On the Poniak Labs landing page, you can see the option to list an agent. If you are not already signed in, you need to sign up or sign in first. You can sign in using Google, GitHub, or the standard email and password method. After signing in, you will reach the marketplace and dashboard area. From here, open the List Agent page. This is the main form where we will enter all the information required to submit the AI agent. The first section is General Information. Start by entering the agent name. In this example, the agent is called Restaurant and Competitor Analyzer. After the name, enter a short description for the agent. You can use a simple text description, or you can use Markdown if you want the description to look more structured. Markdown is useful when you want to add headings, bullet points, feature lists, or a more detailed explanation of what your agent does. Next, choose a category for the agent. You can select one of the existing categories from the drop-down, such as content generation, data analysis and insights, email and communication, customer support, developer tools, or any other matching category. If your category is not available, you can also choose Other and add a custom category. For this demo, I am selecting data analysis and insights. Below that, you can add media for your agent. This can include images, videos, or GIFs that help buyers understand what your agent does. If you do not want to upload media right now, you can skip it and continue with the rest of the form. Now we move to the delivery method section. The platform supports different ways to list an agent. The first option is REST API, which is the preferred method when your agent is hosted online and can be called through an API. You can also list a Streamlit app by adding the Streamlit app URL. Another option is Code Repo, where you can upload a zip file or provide a GitHub repository URL. In this tutorial, we will continue with the REST API method. In the target API URL field, paste the full endpoint URL that we prepared earlier. This should include your hosted service URL, followed by the API endpoint path from your code. A correct example would look like https yourservicename.onrender.com/your API endpoint. Make sure the URL is formatted correctly. In the checklist, you can see an example where HTTPS appears twice. That is only to show the format clearly, but in your final URL, HTTPS should appear only once. Next is the secret auth header. If your API endpoint is protected, you can enter the authorization value here. For example, it can be bearer, followed by your API key or secret token. This header will be sent along with the request when the platform calls your agent. If your endpoint does not require authentication, you can leave this field empty. After that, choose the expected output type. This tells the platform what kind of response your AI agent will return. The output can be plain text, markdown rich text, JSON data, an image URL, an audio URL, a video URL, or a file URL. Choose the output type that matches your agent's actual response. For this example, I am keeping it as plain text. Now we need to define the input schema. The input schema tells the platform what fields the user must fill before running the agent. For example, this restaurant analysis agent needs inputs like the restaurant name and location. So in the schema, we define each field with a name, type, label, whether it is required, and a short description. If you are not sure how to write the input schema, you can click the help link. This opens the documentation page. In the documentation, you can see examples of different supported input types. You can create text inputs, text areas, file inputs, image inputs, drop-down selections, and Boolean true or false inputs. After checking the documentation, come back to the listing form and continue. Once the input schema is ready, move to the pricing model section. Here you can decide how buyers will pay for your agent. You can set a one-time fee, which means the buyer pays once to unlock the agent. If you want the agent to be free to unlock, you can keep the one-time fee as 0. You can also set a usage cost in credits. This is the number of credits charged each time someone runs your agent. You can use only a one-time fee, only a usage cost, or both together. In this example, we are setting a one-time fee and also a per-run credit cost. Once your one-time fee and usage cost are set, the rest of the experience is handled by the platform using a simple credit-based system. Buyers top up credits, and each time they run your agent, the correct number of credits is deducted based on the usage cost you define. 1 credit equals $0.2, and when buyers purchase credits, Poniak adds a small 5% platform fee on top of the base credit value. So if a buyer purchases 100 credits, they pay $21 in total. It's also a good idea to do a quick sanity check on your listing before you publish. Make sure your agent name clearly explains what it does, your description is easy to understand for a first-time buyer, and your category, input schema, and pricing all match the actual behavior of your agent. After completing all the required fields, click Publish Agent. Once you publish, the agent is submitted for review. The admin team will check whether the agent follows the platform guidelines. If everything is correct, the agent will be approved and listed on the marketplace. After publishing, you can see the success message saying that the agent was submitted successfully. The agent also appears inside the seller dashboard. In the Pending tab, you can see the newly submitted restaurant and competitor analyzer agent waiting for approval. You can edit your agent later if required. When you click the Edit option, the platform shows a confirmation message. It explains that editing the agent will unlist it and send it back to the admin for reapproval. This is important because any updated version needs to be reviewed again before going live. After confirming, the edit page opens and you can update the agent details. Once the changes are submitted and approved again, the updated agent will appear on the marketplace. Finally, this is how the listed agent appears on the marketplace after approval. Users can view the agent, check its details, and run it based on the pricing and input schema you configured. That is it for this guide. If you face any issue while listing your AI agent on Poniak Labs, feel free to contact us. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.